All right, we're ready to go here. No audio issues yet. Wow,
Nope.
that is crazy. Sports Heroic Podcast. That is Jesse at Jack's Kellington. I am Chris at Roost Twins. How we doing, Jesse?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. No
We
audio
are.
issues, no video issues. We're doing good.
I just wonder when the audio is going to cut out for me. You'll be talking.
Ah,
I'll be like, "Why isn't he talking to me?" Then I look up. Your mouth is moving. I can't hear you, and my fucking audio's out.
yep. Yep. That's all
So
right.
we do
We can
have
do
Kick working tonight as well. If you guys want to tune in on Kick, for some reason last week it wasn't working. I don't know why, but I see it is working right now. Also on YouTube, Twitch, all that fun stuff. Our names are underneath our picture there. Follow us up on Twitter, and we'll see. Conference finals now are set for the NBA.
Yep.
It's going to be the Pacers and Knicks. That's going to be in New York, right? New York has the highest seed.
Ga- game one is in New York.
And that'll be on Wednesday in New York. Just what Knick fans have been waiting for.
Yep.
That is,
We're
let's
like,
see, what's the line on that? 4.5 right now in New York. And I can see the Pacers winning, though. Pacers are a gritty team. They're rolling right now. They are fucking rolling.
yeah, I mean, honestly, after the Knicks playoff run up to this point, man, I think I got them now.
You got the Knicks?
I was believing in the Pacers. I still do believe in the Pacers, but I think the Knicks are just playing at a different level.
Yeah.
And especially if you beat the defending champions, granted they didn't have Tatum, but even when they did have Tatum, they were still playing like ass. So
Mm-hmm.
to me, you kind of beat them fair and square. I mean, yeah, he wasn't there for the last game, but he didn't really show up for the other ones either.
No. I think I'm going to go Knicks as well. They just have that chemistry right now. They're just
Yeah.
together.
Yep.
And if Brunson's struggling, then it's Bridges. If Bridges and Brunson are struggling, then it's Towns. Or
Yeah.
OG will catch fire. Or Josh Hart will get a couple steals and fast breaks.
Yep.
And I said it last week, I've actually been surprised on how well Mitchell Robinson's played. He doesn't do a lot, but he's been getting extra chances for the Knicks, getting some offensive rebounds. And I think he
Yeah.
was
He
perfect
does
from the line last game. I think we said 6 of 6 or something like that.
he does a lot of little things, yeah. He's been it's been big for sure. Absolutely.
And both teams will be pretty fresh, so that's not much of an issue.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, the Knicks played on Friday, so they'll have 4 days off, and the Pacers will have over a week. They played on Tuesday, so they'll have over a week's rest.
Yeah. I mean, that can be both good and bad though.
Yeah, what do you think? I don't know how to tell that. I mean, you think they'd want to keep playing the way they've been playing and not have a big break? You think?
I wouldn't necessarily like say they want to keep playing, but it's just more, I think anywhere past like 3, 4 days is a little, it's kind of pushing it a little bit.
Yeah, 'cause we've seen in years past. Even the Wolves against Warriors, they had like 4 or 5 days off and came out sluggish. We've seen it years past with look at the
Yep.
Cavs. Look at the Cavs. Their game won. They won
Yep.
it, but they didn't play very well against the 8 seed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think you can just kind of fall into the trap as a team where you try to over prepare since you
mhm.
have so much time and you kind of, I guess in a way, think yourself out of the first game instead of just going into it and saying, yeah, let's do this from last game or that from last game. It's an entire new, whole new game plan.
Yeah,
So for a
yeah,
whole new team. So I think if you have that much time, like it can definitely work in terms of, getting, recouping your players and all that. But at the same time, I think it's human nature to kind of drag ass a little bit after a certain point and yeah, either over prepare or just maybe not take them as seriously because you have so much time to psych yourself up.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Matchup wise, I think both these teams match up pretty well, don't you think? I think both teams are pretty good defense, and I don't think there's really a glaring issue as
No,
far as
I mean,
matchups.
and I don't even I don't even necessarily know if you can really grade the Knicks and really put them into a bucket as far as like, this is how good they are because you can't really gauge them against Detroit because Detroit's not really at the top. You can't really gauge them against Boston because Boston was playing like dog shit and then they lost Jason Tatum.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah. Yeah. That's
it's
true.
really
Yep.
it's really hard to gauge where they're at because they haven't really beat, they haven't been full strength against another full strength team necessarily. Like they were against Boston, but like I said, they weren't. Boston was playing like absolute shit. So
Yeah.
if they would have beat Boston, Tatum does Tatum things, Brown does Brown things. The Celtics as a whole play well within their system, and their system works. And then it just comes down to couple of couple of key plays. Like didn't necessarily see that.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
close, but I mean,
Kind of different for the
it just
Knicks. They were all banged up last year. This time they're healthy.
yeah.
Now they're kind of facing banged up Celtic team. Um, but props to the Knicks, man. I can't stand Thibodeau, man. He always looks like he's pissed off.
Yeah.
That look he always has. That kind of
Yeah.
like I want to just like beat you guys. Or it's
Yeah.
just like what is up with that?
No, definitely props to them because I mean, I think it was Stephen A. Smith that was saying either they haven't been to a conference finals or they haven't won a conference finals in like 50 years. So it's
Oh,
pretty crazy.
for the how storied that franchise is and the fan base and
Yeah.
how diehard they are about their Knicks. That's crazy. It's kind of like
Yeah, I
the
would have thought it was more, but
it's kind of like the Maple Leaf fans, Toronto Maple Leaf fans. They're diehard, and I think they're not to get onto hockey, but I think they're down 3-0 right now in Game 7. They might lose.
yeah.
They've lost. I think they said they've lost like 6 straight Game 7s, and like Toronto fans, they don't even know they have a baseball team. Blue Jays. It's all Maple Leafs. It's all hockey. Hockey.
Yeah.
They might burn down. They might burn down the city. And I say that because that's kind of what Nick fans are like too. They're very diehard. They're very passionate.
Yeah. Yeah, Blue Jays haven't won anything in like what, 28 years?
God, it's been yeah, not this century at least.
I want to say the last World Series they won was in like 96, 97, somewhere around there.
I mean, they've been relevant, but not like anything huge since 2000
No.
hit. Yeah,
No, they'll
I
get
don't
better.
know if the Knicks lose this one. I don't know what the fans are gonna do. They're gonna want like a you're always gonna hear fire the coach, get rid of this guy, trade that guy, do this, do that. But I really don't think they should do much, even if they do lose. I mean, what do you think
I think it
they could add or anything like that?
I mean, first of all, I think it depends on how they lose, right? If they just get their asses kicked by the Pacers, then I think it's going to be, fire Thibodeau and all that because we were good enough to get to the conference finals, but I think in the fans' eyes would be like, our roster's pretty good, but I think it's the coach's fault, sort of thing. If you,
Yeah,
especially if you start having a bunch of injuries and dudes keep racking up minutes over and over and over again, I think that's going to be kind of the tipping point. If I don't know, I just hope that they win for their sake because
yeah,
it just, yeah, to me, it just kind of comes down to how they lose or how they win. I mean, if they barely squeak by, I still think there's going to be questions about the roster. Um, and that goes for the finals too. Like if they get into the finals and dudes are racking up minutes, going down with injuries, I mean, you're kind of looking at the same scenario in both situations where I think it just really comes down to how they win or how they lose. If they get completely blown out, then it's going to be seen as a colossal failure. If it's pretty close and comes down to a couple of key plays, I think it's going to be more on the coach
Yeah,
in the eyes of the fans.
yeah, I agree there. Yep, they're gonna. I heard that they. I heard there might be like a sale or something going on with the Knicks too. Did you hear about that at all?
No.
Maybe that was a rumor. I don't know. I heard something about that, but just wondering. It's kind of the timing of that story would have been weird too, right into the Eastern Conference Finals. But I thought I heard something
Yeah.
about they're possibly going to sell the team or something like that. I don't know, but
Okay.
they very well
Who
could
knows?
get their ass kicked by Indiana. They've done that to both teams they played,
Yeah, they could.
and Indiana's rolling right now. They have a good coach. They have the defense. They can score. They can shoot.
Yeah, they have 100% buy-in from their entire starting five too, which is you get to the point in the playoffs where it doesn't matter talent level, coaching, preparation, all that. You need buy-in. Like you need everybody to
Yep.
have 100% confidence that, oh, we beat this team earlier in the regular season. All we have to do is beat them again in the, oh yeah, just might as well just send us to the fucking finals. If this is all we have to do to get there, like yeah, we're good. That's the kind of confidence level you need to have, and it seems like they definitely have that.
Yeah, they're not afraid to play on the road, and they all play their role well too. They don't try to do they don't try to play to their weaknesses. They play to their strengths. Brunson knows his role. Towns knows his role. Bridges and so forth. They're so good at that.
And it can be, this is
Indiana
actually
as
true for
well
both
too.
teams.
Indiana as well.
Yeah, yeah, and it's definitely true for both teams, but you can't really pick who's gonna be the guy on a night-to-night basis. You
Yeah,
kind of know who's gonna score the most points from the Knicks. It's most likely gonna be Brunson. Towns is gonna be there. They have a couple other dudes. But in terms of big plays and in the biggest moments, Brunson can get that for you. Cat can get that for you. Hit or miss on Cat. Bridges can definitely get that for you. Hart can get that.
yeah,
And it's the same thing for the Pacers, where their entire starting lineup, and probably extending down to like the sixth, seventh man, any one of those dudes can be the guy to get you that last bucket, to get you that block, that steal, whatever it is.
yeah.
So it's gonna be a good matchup.
Nebhard and Neesmith have been great for Indiana. They
Yeah.
when they first got them, they weren't really in the rotation. A couple years ago when they drafted them or got them, they weren't really in the
Yep.
rotation. But now it's like they flourished in their roles with Indiana.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They shuffle them two back and forth too. Like when one needs a break, they put them in, and so they're kind of the same players, but they do things differently. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But they both can shoot the hell out of the ball too.
Yeah. I think that makes Halliburton look a little bit better in terms of like he's not going to necessarily get criticized for not taking the last shot because you have an entire team of dudes that can hit that last shot.
Yep.
So even if he has the ball late in the game, their entire team is good enough and deadly enough to where like you have to be on your shit if it comes down to a one possession game
Yeah.
because he's obviously capable of hitting whatever game winning shot that he needs to. We've seen it 2-3 times already,
Yep.
but the rest of the lineup is just as good if not better in those situations as well.
Yeah. And you can't forget about. I'm surprised I'm saying this. T.J. McConnell has been great.
Yep.
He doesn't score a lot, doesn't shoot a lot, but man, that guy, he is smart. He can pass the ball. He's gritty too. He gets loose balls. He takes
Yep.
charges. He might be an X factor for the Pacers coming off the bench.
For sure. I mean, those are the types of players that are huge at this time of year.
Yeah.
Those dudes that you can't necessarily game plan for or you don't game plan for, but have a huge impact on the game.
Yep. Like the Isaiah Hartensteins, the Nas
Yeah.
Reeds, the Josh Hart type players.
Yeah.
He'll get you a bunch of steals. He'll get loose balls. He'll get rebounds for you.
Yeah, and he'll have one game where he drops like 30 on you, and
Yeah.
that's gonna be brutal.
Yeah, so that'll start. I'm excited. I like seeing the Knicks and Pacers. Something different, a little different flavor, and the Knicks fans finally deserve to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I mean, so do the Pacers. So I'm going to go Knicks, but I'm going to be tuned into that one just see what happens.
Yeah, and I think this series is gonna be really chippy. I don't think it's gonna get like personal kind of bullshit. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be in terms of like physicality and like understanding the gravity of the situation for the Knicks at least. I think it's gonna be a lot like the Pistons series,
Okay.
especially the last few games where the Pistons were just they were not going away. You know, like you had to fight the entire game all the way through. I think that's how it's gonna be when they have to face the Pacers.
New York's got to know that too, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
because they were not ready for Detroit when they came out with their physicality.
No,
They got to
no,
know
no,
that
no.
Indiana. That's how Indiana plays. They want to be physical.
Yeah.
They think they can. They think they have the advantage by being physical, and the Knicks got to know that. They got to be ready for that.
Yeah, they want to run you and shoot you off the court. And what you have to do, I think, especially in game one, is out physical them, set the tone for the rest of the series. Like if you want to play your bullshit, that's fine, but we're gonna be checking you when you try to drive down the lane, you know.
Yep.
We're gonna have Cat just knock your ass to the ground on one or two plays, pick up those fouls, just because we can.
Yep. I don't know what if Indiana goes with the hack of Mitchell Robinson like Boston tried doing. I mean, it worked the first few games. He was like, I think like 3 of 12 one game, but you know, uh, game 2 games ago he was 6 of 6. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. And
It'll be interesting.
news came out with Jalen Brown. He had a partial meniscus tear. That was his knee issue that was going on. And he knew something was wrong with him, but not like I didn't think it was obviously partial. I mean, it's serious, but it's not serious. But you knew something was going on with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he ever really recovered from injury going into the playoffs.
No, he got injured early in the season too, didn't he? Didn't he hurt that knee
Yeah,
like game 20 or something like that?
I think so. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so he was. I know he missed a couple games because sitting out rest purposes and stuff like that.
Yep.
But yeah, so yeah, that'll start Wednesday, and uh, let's see, nothing really more about the. There's some Trey Young stuff going on about who's trolling the Knicks fans. I don't know.
Oh,
Like, why is he
I saw
trolling anyone,
something.
right? Why is he
Yeah,
trolling anyone? He's out of the playoffs.
yeah. He didn't even make it to the first round. He got bounced in the play-in, so I don't want to hear it.
He praised them, but yet he trolled them. So
Or did they make it to the first round? I can't even remember.
he was saying that he complimented Thunder fans by saying they're louder than Knicks fans.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you should be saying anything, buddy.
No, no, he
Oh.
shouldn't. In the West, Thunder destroyed the Nuggets today. Earlier, that was a 2:30 ABC game, 125-93. That OKC defense was just on point today. They were all over
Yep.
the place.
Yep, the Nuggets have fallen. It sucks.
Yeah, I don't know if it was anything about like them being tired. It's just OKC played really, and Aaron Gordon was on one leg.
Yeah.
He played. He had a grade 2 hamstring pull, but he said he's playing and started.
Yep.
But he didn't do much. I mean, he had 11 rebounds, 8 points, but you could tell anytime he moved, he was not going full, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the disadvantage of having such a shallow roster like the Nuggets had too, is granted he's a huge piece, but they didn't have anything left. And OKC, like you look at their stats, their stars showed up, man. Like
Yeah, he did.
the Nug the Nugget stars did not. Looking
Yeah,
at oh,
Jalen
I
had a
had him up a
bounce back.
second.
Jalen had a bounce back game for them too.
Yeah, yeah, he had like what, like 23 points or something like that.
Yeah, he had 24, 7 assists, plus 35, 10 of 17 shooting. Yeah, it's definitely showed up there. You know, Shea had 35, plus 32. Chet did enough out there. You know, I mean, you look at that 16 steals. That was what
Yeah,
really kind of did him in. 22 turnovers for the Nuggets. That second quarter was brutal, 39-20. And when you're watching it, it's like they didn't even get a shot up in like 5 straight possessions.
yeah,
They threw the ball away twice. They had a 24-second shot clock violation. A couple of steals. It's like, what are they doing?
yeah. Horrible, horrible.
But you
I mean,
got to credit OKC's defense, man.
yep,
They're going to be a tough test.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
And
They're just
I think the Nuggets have a Michael Porter Jr. problem. He was bad again.
they they might they might. He's been a liability for sure.
Like there's times where he just doesn't want to shoot, and then when he does, it's either like contested or he's like falling away.
Yeah, yeah. His shot selection is not very great, but they
The,
might they
yeah,
might try to move him in the off season. Who knows?
the 2 years ago, Michael Porter Jr. would have just pulled up from three and just swished it right in your face.
Yeah, he was an absolute weapon in the finals.
I mean, you gotta. He was a big part of why they lost. I mean, uh, 3 points, 2 points, 10 points, 6 points in the conference semifinals. Shot 13 of 51 from three, 25%.
Yeah, it's not good.
Ugly.
Not gonna cut it.
No, I think. Well, he was. Granted, he did have that shoulder injury too, didn't he? He had something going on with his shoulder.
Yeah, but the entire time, like you can't manage one good game in the entire series.
I know. I was just gonna say that. Like, really, dude, you can't just make 1 3. You know, look like you used to.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they'll try to move him in the off season. There's no way they keep him. I mean,
I mean, I think
enough's
they
enough.
have to. They gotta do something.
Yeah.
Get that position better because they don't really have. I mean, do you trust Peyton Watson? Do you trust Julian Strother? I mean, he had a good game 6. Julian Strother did, but they're still young. They're only like. I mean, you could give him some more minutes, but like Russell Westbrook's not gonna do much. I mean,
No, he did. I think he only had like 6.
yeah, 22 minutes. He took 7 shots and made 2 of them.
Yeah.
So I think the Nuggets should look at moving Porter and try to make that bench a little stronger
Yeah.
because they're not very deep on their bench.
No, they don't really have anybody on the bench that is producing much.
We look at OKC. OKC's got Caruso, Aaron Wiggins, Kason Wallace playing big minutes for them.
Yep. Lou Dort.
Yeah, Lou Dortz, that shutdown defender.
Yep.
He can shoot though too, so they can't sleep on Lou Dort's shooting ability. He can
No.
knock down threes.
Yep.
So that's going to be the Wolves and Thunder on Tuesday in OKC. I think I saw the line was 7.5. Let me see what it is now. 7.5 OKC. Who are you taking for that series?
I got the Wolves in that series, honestly.
4, 5, 6, 7.
I think 6.
Yeah. I
Yep.
like it. Let's go, huh? I
Wolves
like
in
it.
6. One step closer to having to go out to that fucking parade.
That's right. You're coming up here, right?
Yep. I'm gonna have to.
Uh Matchups for them will be interesting because I think, kind of like Eastern Conference, I think it matches up pretty well. Dort's probably going
Yeah.
to guard Edwards. Jaden's probably going to guard Gilgis Alexander. Randall will probably guard Holmgren. And
Yeah.
Edwards will probably be on Jalen Williams. Hartenstein and Gobert. Probably something like that.
Yeah. Gobert wins that.
It's going to be key. It's going to be key on the X factors. Like for the Wolves, Naz Reid and Dante have to show up. They need them. They
Yeah,
won't
for sure.
win. They won't win this series if they play how they have these playoffs.
No, I think Gobert needs to be more active in the offense as well in terms of kind of doing what he did to the Lakers. He just beat the shit out of them in those last couple games. Like it wasn't even
Yeah.
he just looked like the most dominant human on the face of the planet. He needs
Yeah.
to do that again.
And the Thunder, they play. I think they play like 10 or 12 guys every game. And they can defend anywhere. They bring defenders off the bench. They bring shooters off the bench. They can mix and match well.
Yeah. Yeah, they're talking about a post game is they're always fresh. So they're never really tired. They, kind of like what we were talking about last week is they never look stressed, they never looked angsty. They play composed the entire time, and yeah, part of it is because they have 10-man rotation that
Yeah.
they don't get tired, so they're good.
The Wolves need to knock down their open shots and need to reduce turnovers. Turnovers was a big
Yep.
thing in the Warrior series. Um, just the stupid passes, like the lazy passes down into the post, or telegraphing it, looking at a guy, and then passing it to him when there's a guy standing right there. They just had some dumb passes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're taking the Warriors very seriously though. After a little bit,
You do that against an OKC team, you might be out of the building pretty quick.
yeah, for sure. But
Yeah,
I think
I'm
he'll be
going to
all right.
take them in 6 as well. I mean, I
I
have
might
to,
put
right?
money on that. Yeah, I might put some money on that one.
I might bet that line too, 7.5. We'll see where it is on Tuesday.
I think I'll just place my bets now. Have the Knicks and the Wolves in the finals, dude.
Knicks, Wolves, Towns, Edwards. That'd be a good
Yep,
storyline.
that'd be crazy.
Yeah. So let's see. So it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So it'll be Minnesota will get a Saturday home game. Saturday night. All games so far at 7:30, which I'm glad we're not playing out west anymore. That was 9:30 starts, man. Those are killing
Yep,
me.
yep.
I mean, I'm old, so I can't stay up past like 9 o'clock. But
Yeah.
Monday 7:30. Looks like there's only one off day in between games here, which is nice. Yeah, so all games are at 7. Oh, next Sunday, if it goes game 7, will be a 7 o'clock game instead of 7:30.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a lot better than those 9 o'clock starts. I hated that.
Yep. Yeah, that's for sure.
They always say 9 o'clock, but it's really like 9:15. 9:20.
Yeah. Hmm.
Probably doesn't affect you much being where you are, right?
Nope, not of mine. It's fine for me.
uh, yeah. So, is there any other basketball news that you heard of?
Nope, not that I can think of.
Let's see. Where did Kason Wallace come from? He's a good player for OKC. I've never really even heard of him.
Neither have I. How's he been doing?
We can go. There's some football news. You want to jump over to football real quick?
We can. I haven't been keeping up too much lately, but
Brock Purdy,
yeah, he's in the process of signing a new deal, right?
5-year, $265 million for Brock Purdy.
Yeah, pay the man. Pay the man.
For the 49ers. Yeah, Mr. Irrelevant, right? Is that what they still call him? The last pick of the draft?
Yep. Yep.
I'll be Mr. Irrelevant if I get $265 million, right?
I mean, it's actually not that much because they're in California, so like 30% already is like gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. The
And it's
taxes out there.
over, yeah, it's over 5 years, so he's getting, we'll call it like 18.
Yeah, so it's 181 guaranteed.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see. Get paid average salary of $53 million a year,
Okay.
and somehow that's 76th highest paid quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, 181 guaranteed, 53. That's not bad though. He deserves it though. I mean, just look at his record with them so far. He's
Yeah,
definitely think he deserves it. Took him to a Super Bowl. Been one of the best teams in the NFC for 3, 4 straight years.
yeah.
Whenever he got there.
And I
So,
forgot that they gave Garoppolo a huge contract in 2018.
oh yeah,
5 years, 137 and a half for Garoppolo. Oh my god.
they really believed in him, and then they didn't really quickly. Sounded like he
Yeah,
just kind of gave up on him though.
yeah. Purdy, he didn't have last year was kind of crappy for him. Kittle was hurt, Debo Samuel was hurt, McCaffrey was hurt.
Yeah,
He didn't really have all his weapons, but he still passed for 3,800 yards, seventh in QBR.
yeah, he was putting up numbers. He was doing the best with what he had for sure.
Yeah, uh, yes, that's about it. So for Purdy, over to the Bears real quick. I don't know if you heard about this with Caleb. What the hell's his last name?
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, his family trying to do whatever they could to dodge the Bears. Did you hear about that before the draft?
No.
They were trying to make it so he wouldn't get drafted by the Bears.
Why?
I'll pull it up right here. Just says he didn't want to be drafted by the Bears, and I think his dad was involved too, about possibly considering. Now this was reported to be true. He considered the UFL or not declaring for the draft to not be drafted by the Bears.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
drastic.
According to
What?
the American Kings book, a biography of the quarterback written by his dad, Carl.
What the fuck?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Like, dude, it doesn't. Yeah. Okay.
Boomer Esiason weighed in and just says the level of entitlement is breathtaking. It's no wonder why he failed initially, and it's no wonder why the coach got fired. So now they go out and get an offensive coach in Ben Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, that is an interesting level of entitlement for sure. I mean, look at fucking Matthew Stafford. Like, look at Matthew Stafford. Like, the
Yeah,
dude got drafted by the Lions, and he still made it work.
yeah. Yeah, that's kind of like what, like LaMelo and LeVar Ball and all that. What your parents get too involved in what you're doing, it kind of
Yeah.
drives you the wrong way because now look at LeVar. He's out of their spotlight. LaMelo's having a pretty good career. Lonzo's hurt all the time, but LiAngelo signed a huge record deal, so it's like they
Yeah.
don't need their dad anymore. And now Caleb Williams' dad kind of getting in the way of his career as well.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure Dion got in Shadur's whole thing, but I mean, if he did and he still ended up with the Browns, then that's interesting, you know?
Yeah,
Not not a horrible team. I mean, they're not the Browns of old. Let's face it, their defense is fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
But
yeah, they are. Have they moved Miles
but yeah.
Garrett yet? Wasn't there talk about trading Miles Garrett?
No, I think they re-signed him a couple
God,
weeks ago.
why would you ever want to trade Miles Garrett? That'd be
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, they were talking about getting some other pass rusher too. I don't
I
remember who it
I
was.
also heard that the Broncos should re-sign Von Miller, bring him back.
Yeah, might as well, right? Fuck it.
Is he out of the league now, or what is Von Miller doing?
Yeah, I want to say he's with the Bills, I think.
Yeah, I remember he got like a 2-year deal with them, didn't he? And he got like hurt the
Yeah,
first year.
I'm pretty sure he played last year. So yeah, I think he's still with the Bills.
Let's see. 4.4940. Wow, that is crazy. The Bucks are also interested in him too. 36-year-old Von Miller. Yeah, so he might be a
He can
free
still do
agent
it.
right now. He was on the Bills, yeah. So I think he might be a free
Okay.
agent right now.
Okay. I think he can still play.
From Dallas, Texas. What about those Cowboys? What do you think?
Who
Homecoming?
gives a shit? Who gives a shit about the Cowboys?
Fuck the Cowboys, right?
Hey, fuck the Cowboys, dude. They could they could pick up Tom Brady, bring him out of retirement. I would still think they're dog shit.
That's awesome. I
They're
love
not
that.
going anywhere. They're not going anywhere, dude.
Antonio Brown in the news again.
Yep, I saw
Detained at
that.
a boxing event
Yep.
after gunshots were heard outside
Yep, we got in a little bit of a scuffle too. That dude is insane.
at 3 a.m.
Yep.
outside of a event in Miami. Let's see. Yeah, he's just detained, so he hasn't really been. He probably won't get charged for anything, but they said he was in. Videos said he was shown as being involved in a fight with several
Yeah.
people.
Yep.
And it says Brown was seen
Yep.
apparently holding a black pistol.
Okay.
Jesus, man. I mean, isn't he a
He's just
felon
never gonna learn.
with a gun at this point? Hasn't he already been charged
I
with guns?
I'm sure if you get enough, yeah, I don't know, man. He's a wild dude for sure.
That's another guy that had his career stayed at the same plateau. He could have been one of the best receivers of all time.
Yeah. Instead, he just had to go absolutely apeshit.
But I think part of it might have been maybe depression or mental health issues with him, which I don't want to, go into too much with that. People. I think he's really
Yeah.
got messed up in his head. It really messed him up.
There's there's something going on up there because everybody that's talked about him said his work ethic was like nothing they'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And then he would get off the field and he would turn into what we see all the time. So, yeah, obviously you don't get that good without putting, putting your whole entire soul, mind, body, and soul into it. But I don't understand how you can go from what he was to how he is so quickly. Like he was having issues and then it just exploded. Like
Yeah. It did.
you would think it's, he started dabbling in some, drugs or something like that and just went off the fucking deep end and they were just never able to pull him back. Like that's kind of how that whole situation comes across to me at least. Because like listening
Yeah.
to some of the stuff that he said in interviews, like he's fucking delusional.
He is. Yeah. It's all like me, me, me. I need this. I should have got this. You guys need to give me this. Kind of like entitlement type stuff. But it's like you're at the
Yeah.
highest point of your career, dude.
Yeah, it's like he still believes that like the season just ended yesterday, like from his peak.
Yeah.
Like it just ended yesterday. And he's going into contract negotiations. It's like, motherfucker, you've been in the news longer
Yeah.
than you were playing. Like I don't understand where that's coming from.
I think part of it
Like
might
you
be CTE related. Do you think? I think he might have like pre CTE or something.
maybe, but it's like, dude, you walked out on two different teams, like two NFL teams. You left
Yeah.
in the middle of one of the games, and then the other one, I think you like walked off the practice field in the preseason. And you were like, fuck all this. Like I'm done.
Yeah. Just quit.
I mean, Tom Brady let you stay with him at his house, and you started talking about getting with his wife and all that. It's like,
Oh
what
my
kind of
god.
person does that, dude? And he
A
starts
person
trolling him all the
who's fucked
time.
up.
Like, yeah, yeah. So like, you put all that together, I don't think it's just, oh, he made a bunch of money and it got to his head and he started, feeling himself. Like, dude already had money, dude already had talent. Something else came into the mix at some point.
Yeah. I mean, this is like the fourth or fifth fight he's been in. I think second or third one that's involved guns.
Yeah.
And like, I hope the guy's okay. Honestly, personally, I hope I don't care. I've never liked him or anything, but I hope he's okay.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think he has some mental issues going on that he either doesn't want to take care of or doesn't want to admit it, or they
Yeah.
haven't found it yet or something. I don't know. It doesn't seem right.
No. He's going through like what we saw a couple years ago. Like he's going through some Kanye shit, man.
Oh
He
yeah,
just went off the deep end real quick.
yeah.
Dove head first off that motherfucker before anybody could stop him.
It's like once he was officially done with football, it all just spiraled.
He just said fuck it. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. Um, yeah, not much really anything else. Just talking about the Patriots. Who cares about the Patriots, right?
Nah, not really.
Cardinals Will Johnson using his draft slide as motivation. Any news on the Cardinals out there? Anything they're doing or not? Probably not much since it's May.
Yeah, not much so far that I've heard, but I don't know, we'll still suck next year, so not too much of an update.
We talked about the Derek Carr retirement.
Yep, that's crazy. Very, very unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he ever lived up to the hype, just like his brother. Remember his brother David when he came up with the Texans?
Yeah,
He was the most sacked quarterback ever in the NFL, and since then, he just couldn't get his career going. Granted, Texans were terrible back then. Didn't really help
yeah,
him.
no. Yeah, I mean, you hate to see it. It's kind of like an Andrew Luck thing, but dude had to make a choice and keep your body at the same time, like rather prioritize your health over, making some more money, having a little bit of fame and all that fun stuff. Like, kind of
Yeah.
prioritize your health at some point.
Yeah.
If you can't throw the ball like you barely move, then yeah, maybe it's probably time to call it a career.
One little back to basketball for a minute. Michael Jordan back with the NBA. Did you see as an advisor for ESPN?
Yep.
So he's going to start next year when the ESPN or when NBA goes to ESPN because it's no longer TNT. I don't know how much he's really going to do, but he seems excited. I didn't think he'd want to come back to like a like a role like that since what he did with the Bobcats and Hornets, ran them into the ground.
Yeah. I'm glad he's not coming back as a commentator though, because
Yeah, I agree
I
with
don't
you on
know.
that.
It feels weird to say, but I'd rather think of all my heroes and all my idols as just that, heroes and idols. I don't want to think of them as human. I
Yeah,
don't want to hear about their personal lives. I don't want to see any of their personal pictures
yeah,
because you just get a little bit of an overload, and then after a while, it's like, God, like I get this guy was a Hall of Famer and probably the greatest of all time, but like I can't stand him as a person anymore. There's a little too much of him going around.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
then, yeah, it just after a while, it starts they start talking like they were they could beat anybody still, and it's like, bro, you're 50, you were good back then, like just stop.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he didn't go down that road.
Whatever he does, I don't know. I'll be interested to see what he does, but they call it a special advisor or whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. Maybe he won't have too big of a role, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll just oversee, like trades and stuff like that. Be one of those special advisors where
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, we're thinking about trading this guy to this guy. What do you think? And like, nah, fuck that.
Maybe he could be like the guy that sets up the golf outings when teams get eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he knows so much about golf and all the courses and stuff.
Yeah. He's like, come here, Mr. Tatum. We need to work on your backswing.
Yeah, I got a great driving range I can bring you to here.
Yeah, you got a lot of free time. Don't act like you can't fucking come.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's a little WNBA. Have you seen any WNBA yet?
I watched a little bit. I watched Angel Reese try to sell that foul on her by Caitlin Clark, which was absolutely hysterical because
Flagrant.
Angel Reese, yeah, Angel Reese prides herself on being, dominant and all that. Well, she also shoved somebody to the ground right before that play, and you're telling me
Yeah,
a 5'9", 5'10", I'm sorry, I'm gonna call it how I see it. You're gonna tell me a 5'9" to 5'10" scrawny white chick can just throw Angel Reese to the ground while reaching for the ball with just her shoulder, and Angel Reese is like 6'7". I find that a little hard to believe. And
yeah,
then she
yeah,
got up and she was like, "Yeah, see, that bitch is a dirty player. It's like you are twice her size. Get your stupid ass up off the ground. Nobody's buying the fact that Caitlin Clark just threw you down. We're
yeah,
not. You literally just did it to one of her players right in front of her, which is why she throws her hands up like this right before the foul was even happening, because she's like looking at the ref like, did you not just fucking see this idiot throw one of my players to the ground? And then she goes for the ball, and of course, Angel being Angel sees that it's Caitlin Clark and tries to oversell it
yeah,
because she's trying to draw the foul, but at the same time trying to prove a point, which is like, no, she's the bad guy. I'm the good guy. It's like, no, your ass, you're not good for the league, and
yeah,
Caitlin Clark is. That is that is what it is. This whole like, I'm gonna use my attitude and try to sell myself based on my attitude. It's it got old so quick, so fucking quick. Because then you see, don't want to make it a huge thing, but you see her on Instagram doing that whole thing, and it's like there's kind of a difference between what you're doing and how you're selling yourself. We don't really need to go down that rabbit hole, but you understand where I'm coming from.
oh yeah,
She's selling herself and branding herself one way, but Caitlin Clark is obviously not doing that, and there's plenty of other players that aren't doing that.
yeah,
But because she feels like she should be a bigger star, then it's like, oh, I'm not gonna celebrate my basketball brand, or I'm not gonna try to sell that. Instead, I'm gonna do some other things that feeds into a certain stereotype I feel like the NBA is trying to get away from.
yeah, yep. I
I
agree
don't
with that.
I don't I don't want to blatantly state it, but you kind of understand what I'm saying because it's just
Yeah,
it feels weird to go down that without all the specifics. That is just from a fan's perspective, but
yep,
she's doing certain things that other players aren't doing, and I think it has a negative effect in the grand scheme of how she presents herself as a person and as a whole and as a player,
yep,
as a huge part of the league. She's misrepresenting herself and the league at the same time.
yep. I agree with Caitlin Clark too, saying it's just a basketball play. To me, nothing flagrant was a look. Anything looked flagrant about that.
Not even close, so I was really confused on that too.
She didn't push her.
But
She
she,
didn't like hit her on the head or anything. She just kind of
not at all.
hit her arms, and then Angel Reese flailed and kind of fell forward.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was because I think it was because it was Caitlin Clark. If it was another player, I think she would have fought for the ball. But
Yeah,
because it was Caitlin Clark, she made a scene about it because she's trying to push an agenda, and it's getting so old, man. It's
yeah.
getting so old.
And then like she you talked about her attitude. The post game interview, they talked to her. They asked her about that, and she says, "It's basketball. Move on." Kind of in her like, kind of with an attitude.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you were pretty hyped up about it when it happened. Now it's like you don't care or what?
Yeah, it's like she's trying to perpetuate this like, tough badass image, but she's going about it in such a wrong way. It's almost embarrassing to watch
Yeah,
because you're just getting angry. Like that's all you're doing. You're just getting angry. It's not just a basketball play to you and you know it. Just
yeah,
admit it.
yeah. And now the other thing that happened is WNBA launched a probe now against hateful fan comments towards Reese. So that recently happened. I think earlier today. I think they did that.
Yeah, I feel like she's just bringing it on herself, honestly.
Well, she's gonna get that wherever she goes, just because of who she is and what she made herself now.
Yeah.
She doesn't even have to
She's
like
just
do anything. She can just show up to an arena. They're just gonna, throw stuff at her or say stuff to her.
she's she just presents herself like she's kind of a trashy individual
Yeah,
with how she plays, what she says, like she's trying to she's trying to get more than what she's worth. And she's jealous that the shine isn't on her even though she feels like it should have been. Like it's not. The whole like the whole famous quote that she had when she was going into the league or after her first season was like her first couple games when they were talking about Caitlin Clark and the impact she's had on, the league and everything like that and viewership, where she was like, it's not just about her, it's about other people in this league too. Like it's about me as well and all this. And it's like if it's about us, as in other players in the league, not just about her, why are you putting yourself above all the other players in the league first when talking about that issue?
yeah, yep,
It's it's hypocritical.
yep,
You're basically saying Caitlin Clark should be one of the rest of the WNBA players, and it should be you at the top. You haven't done anything. You were good in
yeah,
college. Okay, cool. You didn't set any of the records that she broke the NCAA scoring record. It wasn't just the women's one. It was the men's one too.
yeah.
Like, do you realize how impressive that is? So
That's
yeah, she's
crazy.
gonna get a lot of hype because she's done something that is not only good for the women's sport, but she crossed over and did something that a man couldn't even do.
Yeah,
Like you have to respect that because it's like we talked about before, it's way past like, oh, she's a good woman's player. No, she's a good fucking basketball player.
yeah.
Period.
She is, and she's made the WNBA a big spectacle now. It's at the top of
Yeah.
its popularity because of her, pretty much. And like we said before, Becker's coming now, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The way Asia Wilson's playing, she's kind of put herself to the top here for popularity, and but
Yeah,
it was
there's
all
another
pretty much started by Caitlin Clark.
there was another girl too. I can't remember her name. She's one of the I feel so stupid because she's really good. Want to say it was like Susanna or something like that.
Well, I can look here quick.
She's insanely good. I don't remember what the hell team she plays for though. She might play for the Sky.
Well, Kelsey Plum is in LA now. I know that was a big
That's
deal. She
yeah.
got traded over there. Um,
Can't remember her name.
well, what about my girl Nafisa Collier for the Lynx? She's doing well.
Yep.
Just signed to Jordan Brand too.
Hell yeah.
You think she's on Chicago?
I think so. I don't remember her name, but I know she's really damn. I just saw a highlight clip of her the other day, and I was just amazed.
Think she's one of the top scorers.
I think so.
Okay, well, it's not Collier, it's not Wilson, it's not Plum.
No,
Satu Sabale,
no.
Brianna Stewart. Alicia
No,
Gray, Natasha Cloud,
no,
Brittany Sykes,
no.
Alyssa Thomas,
She might be a rookie this year though.
Aaliyah Boston.
No.
You think it's Susanna something?
Yeah. It was something like that. I want to say she just got drafted.
Okay. We'll find it. We'll
So
find it here.
she's got to be in like the top five. Because it wasn't Paige.
Bonfiglio.
No.
I don't see any more Susannas.
It might not have been Susanna. Who was the first? Who was like the top 10
Kelsey
rookies this year?
Plum. Nafisa Collier.
Uh,
Asia Wilson. Satua Sabalia. Or Sabali, she's on Phoenix.
that wasn't her.
Courtney Williams, she's on the Lynx. Brianna Stewart, Alicia Gray. Natasha Cloud, Brittany Sykes, Skylar Diggins. Alyssa Thomas. Caitlin Clark, Tiffany Hayes, Aaliyah Boston. Brittany Griner. Arike Ogunbowale.
Damn it.
Kelsey Mitchell.
No. Honestly, it might have been.
There's Angel Reese, 32nd in the league in scoring. 12 points a game.
It might have actually been Haley Van Lith, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, she's very popular. Yes. I think she is on the Sky. Yeah.
It might have been her. I saw a highlight reel of her the other day, and I was like, Jesus. Like her movement was absolutely insane.
Yeah, that is who you're talking about. I know, yeah, somehow she's not even getting minutes for Chicago. She should be.
Oh no, it was Sophie Cunningham. It was Sophie Cunningham. Yep,
Van
it
Lith
was Sophie
pretty
Cunningham.
popular too.
Nope, it was Sophie Cunningham.
What team is she on?
The Fever.
Oh, Indiana.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Yeah, Sophie
popularity's getting up there now for the WNBA. Oh yeah,
Okay, she's been in the league for a
Sophie
while.
Cunningham,
Never mind.
yeah.
I don't know what the hell I was talking about.
she might be hurt. Oh, she is hurt.
But yeah, I saw one of her the other day, and I was like, good God, man, that's a scary team.
I'll read a comment in Twitch chat there from Ruse Rainbow. He's one of my oldest followers. He's listening to
Hey.
us. He says, this is about Angel Reese. I mean, when you make such an image for yourself as Angel Reese did, you kind of ruin the reputation of your career on top of the way she plays.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you,
I mean-
bro. Thanks for tuning in as well. We appreciate that.
I mean, especially if you're trying to be one of the most popular, if you're trying to be the face of the league and you already feel like you are the face of the league, to sit there and say, if we don't get paid more, we're gonna join a different league. Probably not the best fucking way to go about it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we were talking about that a couple weeks ago. I was the one that brought up, she's talking about all this pay, and you see her at all these events with like $1,000 fur coat, all this
Yeah.
jewelry on.
Yeah.
Going in these expensive cars, and didn't it say like she barely afforded her rent or something like that with her pay?
Yeah. It's like,
Which,
yeah, I'm
yeah.
only making 78,000 a year, and
I agree that
I'm trying
pay
to live beyond my means.
is little, but you're going out and you're wearing all that stuff and spending all that money on that type of stuff. Maybe you should tone it down a little bit until you get more pay. Then you'd
Yeah.
be able to like pay your rent. But she can't be hurting for money. The stuff she dresses in and the way she kind of goes out.
Yeah, you barely wear anything. You can probably make a decent amount on Instagram with how famous you are.
Oh, and talking about Haley Van Lith, she's in SI swimsuit edition.
Okay.
That's why a lot of people like her now even more because
okay.
of that. They're like, oh, like on Twitter or whatever. Oh, did you see Haley Van List's SI edition? I'm like, what?
All right. I'll have to research this topic more thoroughly.
Well, when you're not by the girlfriend or whatever, check it out. I think
Okay. Okay.
I think you might enjoy it a little bit.
All right. All right. I'll have to research this. Check
Yeah,
back with
so
you. Do some journalism.
she should be getting some more minutes. So she only got 4 minutes in 2 games. I don't know why she's not in the rotation for Chicago. I mean, they're not good.
No, I
Maybe
mean, if your star
maybe she
player is
will.
Angel Reese, you're not going to be very good.
The Lynx are 2-0. How about that?
Good for them.
They're actually like picked second highest odds to win the title.
It's been like 3 games. I don't.
What, two? They won 2 road games.
Nobody's. Yeah, okay, well.
Well, they played
One-
the Wings, Paige Beckers, and then they played the Sparks.
Mm.
And they're not great teams, but hey, 2-0. We got the MVP on our team, Nafisa Collier. Let's go. Wolves are going to win a title. The Lynx are going to win a title. You might go to 2
Oh.
parades.
You guys are going to be disappointed, man. I'm telling you.
Should I just get set up for 2 parades for you, or what?
I think the Fever are going to win it this year.
You think so?
Yep. They have the GOAT on their team. It's just a matter of time.
Let's see. Oh, they've only played 1 game. Oh yeah, they destroyed Angel Reese. That was their only game so far? Yeah, I guess so.
They just beat their asses and that's it.
Did you
That's
see the
awesome.
score of that game?
No.
93-58.
Was it a
Oh,
fucking college game? Like first round of the tournament or what?
listen to these numbers for Angel Reese in her first game. Caitlin
Oh,
Clark. Sorry, Caitlin Clark.
here we go.
20
Here we go.
points, 10
Okay.
rebounds, 10
Damn.
assists, 2 steals, 4 blocks.
Holy shit.
She shot 4 of 8 from 3, 6 of 13 from the floor.
Good God.
Yeah, she might have a running for MVP as well.
How did
Well,
Angel Reese do?
Angel Reese. Well, she's
Yeah,
30. She's 36th in the league in scoring.
sounds about right.
Let's go check out Angel Reese here. She's leading the team in scoring with 12. She had 17 rebounds. Uh, 1 assist, no steals, no blocks, 5 turnovers.
Gotcha.
Shot 5 of 14 from the floor. 1 of 2 from 3, and 36% from the floor.
Yikes. And she's their top scorer?
They have 2 people in double figures. That's it.
Oof. Yeah, you're gonna have to be a lot better if you want to be the face of the league with those numbers.
How the hell do you play 29 minutes and score 4 points?
Well, I mean,
Courtney
if you're
Vandersloot.
missing, missing your own layups, then it's possible.
Well, in Angel Reese's case, that is possible, right?
How many of those rebounds are her own fucking rebounds? That's what I want to know. How many
Well,
offensive rebounds
she
does
had
have?
7. 7 of the 17 were offensive.
Okay, so then at least like what 5 were probably hers then, right?
Yeah, probably.
So 30% of her total rebounds are just her missing shit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna be in trouble.
Caitlin Clark got 20, 10, and 10, and yeah, she doesn't deserve to be the face of the league, right?
And she had
Shooting
3 turnovers
50%.
for her high usage too. That's pretty good. Only 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
When you're getting 3 steals and 4 blocks,
Yeah, that's insane.
like 4 blocks for a guard like her, that's crazy.
She's definitely not the biggest out there. obviously. So
And
getting one
she's
block,
not known for like, I mean, she's probably a good defender, but she's not known for her defense.
no,
But 3 steals and 4 blocks, damn, I'll take that.
four, 4 of 8 from three. That's some bullshit.
They were probably like 35 footers too. They probably weren't right by the line. You know where she pulls
No,
up from.
yeah. Well, I shot it from under their rim. It's like this shit's getting too
Yeah,
easy.
probably.
I gotta shoot it from the tunnel, make it fair.
I'm gonna put out our website stuff for people on Kick and Twitch. There's the website you can find our stuff at. There's our Twitter names right on the screen there.
Yeah, buddy.
We what should we plan to do when basketball's over? With go into football then or what?
Might as well,
What do
yeah.
you think? They should be like in training camp or something at that time, shouldn't they? Or like OTAs or something.
Yeah, around then. Around then, yeah.
So we'll plan on doing the basketball thing, you know, through the finals, which I think is through like first or second week of June,
Yep.
and then we'll probably switch over to some football, and then once football starts, and basketball starts again.
Yep.
So we'll have something to
Cycle
talk
shall
about.
continue. Yep.
I have some training for work to do here this week. I don't know if we'll be able to get a weekdays podcast in, but I'll let you know.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
So our plan is probably next weekend at some point. Probably be Sunday
Yep.
again if that works for you.
Worked for me.
And we'll try to get a weekday one in. We'll let everybody know. It'll probably be like a Wednesday or Thursday if we can get one in. But maybe talk about the game ones of the first 2 games. And go Wolves, right?
Yeah, go Wolves.
Go Wolves, and we're signing off here for the Sports for Oak podcast. Thank you for everybody that came in, the comments and everything. We appreciate that. And
Yep.
Jesse, you have a great night.
Yep, you as well.
Bye.
Bye-bye.